Coach, I got to get straight to it. It's been a long process here, trying to figure out what they're going to transition from. We know now that it is the Washington football team, established in 1932. So they're not getting rid of any tradition, keeping the colors. What was your reaction? And I know you were part of this process as well, of coming to that decision and saying, this is what it's going to be while we do our due diligence to make sure we get it right. Well,
Julie, prior to the original announcement on July 3rd, Mr. Snyder and I have talked, and we had talked several times about the name issue, and on just before the third, I think it was probably the second. It was the second. I think it was the second, July 2nd. He and I talked, and he told me that he was gonna move forward on this, and that he had gone through. He had been talking to the league about this for quite some time recently, and so he and I had discussion. And so he said, we're moving forward. So on July 3rd, he made the announcement that he was going to do a deep dive into this and understanding of what was going on. Then from that point, come July 13th, he made the announcement that he was going to retire the logo and the name. And the reason being is that, that was going to clear the way for us to go forward. And then recently, on July 23rd, he went ahead and announced that we are going to change the name, but because it's going to be a longer process than we had anticipated, 12 to 16 to 18 months, that we were going to pretty much put a placeholder, okay? And that was going to be the Washington football team. And I think, again, with the response that we've gotten from the fans and the players, we're doing things the right way.
I was going to ask you what the reaction has been. I know some people, again, look, I mean, this is very personal to a lot of people. I mean, this team is more than just a game of football. I mean, it's families getting together, it's memories, it's, moments that they will forever cherish. And we know going forward that that's going to be there as well. But you coming into this, there's a lot of first time coming in. It transitions in many aspects. Started with you being hired in January, going through this whole process that you went through. Are there any parallels you can draw from your career to kind of help you navigate through this? Does it make it easier that this is like the turn of the franchise and there is something tomorrow, or is that more challenging in a way?
I think it's both, like a combination of both. Julie, my first time as a head coach was 2011, which was the original lockout, when they had the contract lockout. So I kind of got an understanding and feeling for what it's like to not be able to be around your team. And the one thing I learned from that experience was you have to be prepared for when they tell you, let's go, full steam ahead. So we've been trying to put ourselves in a position where we are staying prepped and ready to go. So that part has been kind of an easy part. The hard part, obviously, as things pop up. But the thing I have learned, though, is that we've tried to do things as a team. We'll communicate constantly with Mr. Snyder, communicate constantly with the other people in position. Sean DeBarbieri, who's handling our media relations. With Terry Bateman, who's now our CMO. So everybody down the line, and now you, in terms of things that we've got to do so that we can get our message out properly. It's been challenging. This is unexpected times, and we don't know what's going on. And so as we learn, as we go out and we do things and we make mistakes, we correct them, we learn from them, we go forward. It's funny because I've had so many people tell me what to do, but yet nobody's gone through this. So it just reminds me of the saying that says, don't draw me a map unless you've been there. Because we're going to go through this. Now, Julie, we're going through this together. We're learning as we go along because, again, these are unprecedented situations and circumstances.
I mean, you're brought in with a challenge enough to try and turn around a 3-13 team, and then everything just piles on. I mean, when you sit back and you think of everything that has been added to your plate and all the issues you've had to address and these historic moments and the changes in the franchise, I mean, it's unprecedented to have maybe one or two of these things, but everything that's been put on your shoulders. I mean, how are you personally kind of handling it? Does it ever get just a little bit too heavy at times?
No, it doesn't. Because, again, this is kind of what I signed up for. I knew that in talking with Mr. Snyder about the franchise going forward, that there was going to be a lot of things that were going to be on my plate. There's going to be a lot of responsibilities I had. The nice thing is football hadn't started as these things started getting piled on. But what we've done and we've done this in the last few days, is we've hired people to come in and take these things off of my plate. Again, bringing you in, you're going to handle the media and our content. That's great because I won't have to worry about that. Bringing in Terry Bateman, who I've been working closely with since I've been here. Terry was brought in to consult, and he's been here since January, and now we just went ahead and put him in the role that he was doing. That's been taken off my plate. And now as we start to ramp up towards the start of the season, with training camp coming up, I will be able to focus in on football. So I'm excited about that aspect.
I mean, focus on football. It might be just such a relief to be like, what? I just get to talk the X's and the O's. I get to meet my guys. I mean, wow.
That was the coolest thing yesterday. I stood out there by the testing center and watched these guys as they came in, got to shout and yell at them. Hey, which one are you? Who are you? Okay, I got it. And as they came in, we had to socially distance. We did the elbow bump thing real quick. But it was great because now the sense of football coming back I got excited. I was looking forward to it. And as I saw these guys, man, I was getting excited thinking about, okay, oh man. And then when Chase came in, I thought, wow, look at him. Okay, look at this guy. This guy's he's got a chance. He really does to be special. And we've got to coach him up and put him in the best position to succeed. Then I saw Dwayne Haskins in, and Dwayne has transformed who he is so far as a person. He's done a great job with that and the way he's built his body up. So I'm really looking forward to get these guys on the football field and see exactly what we have.
I used to always challenge Dwayne to plank-offs because I met him when he was 13. And I think I had the upper hand at the time, but he's always tells me, he's like, no way in the world now would you actually win that challenge. He's definitely been putting in the work. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to identify the players as they're coming in, especially as we take the precautions and are wearing masks during COVID. No OTAs, no mini camps, new coach, got to have to learn the team. What can we expect when they finally do get on the field?
Well, I think the biggest thing more than anything else is we're going to ask our players, first and foremost, to play hard, okay, to play hard. Give your best effort every time you're on the field to represent us, okay, as an organization. That's what we want to do is we want to represent this organization the right way. But we're going to expect improvement too. We have to show our fans that we're going to put a product on the field that they can truly be proud of and truly cheer. We need our fans to get behind us. Just because I got this job doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean all of a sudden we're going to be better. It means we're going to come in and we're going to try and do things our way. We've told our players, and I told this to the players in our first Zoom meeting, if you do things our way, the way we coach it and teach it, okay, and we win, success to you. If we fail, I will take the responsibility. It's on me because that's the way we want it done. But if you do it your way, you go out on your own, you better win. Because if not, I hope you step up and be a man and take the responsibility. That was the first thing I asked of our players and told our players. Let's do it the right way. Because at the end of the day, when we win it all, I want to be able to say we did it the right way.
Every player I've talked to has received that message with heart. They take it. They know that you mean it. I know the fans buy in behind that as well. But as we do get going here, look, they'll come around. But the part of this process of going through the name change is making sure there's inclusivity, that there's a certain amount of transparency, that the fans will be able to see this process. They'll be able to watch what's going on behind the scenes and then make sure that they're a part of the process going forward. So whenever that permanent name does come, that it's because it's what they wanted and you get it right. I mean, to me, that's important, and I believe that's going to resonate with the fans. But what does that say for you that this is the approach they're taking?
Well, I think it really does say a lot that we are trying to change and we're trying to do it the right way. We're trying to be inclusive. And if you think about it, Julie, what we've done is we've made announcements 3 times, the 3rd, the 13th, and the 23rd. We've told our fan base, this is what we're doing. I know you guys have started some content that you're going to show the process as it goes through. That is going to be exciting because everybody's going to get to see how we build it, and hopefully we build it the right way, the way that this can stand the test of time, for 100 years. And the things that we've tried to do to show everybody that we're serious about what we're doing. And again, as I said before, some of those things started with you, bringing you on board as the senior vice president of media. And then you talk about the other people that we've brought in and just the things that we are trying to do as an organization so that we do get it right. I think that's important. And I think that by showing that we're committed to inclusion, to diversity, we're going to get our fan base to understand that we're trying to do it the right way. And hopefully they'll get behind us. But the most important thing, though, is we're showing the organization, the people in the organization, that we're serious about change, about creating a positive work environment as we go forward. And again, that's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for. That's what Terry Bateman's here for. We're here to change these things and make sure these things are the things that are going to help us as we go forward.
You already gave me that pitch for this job. And for anybody that questions why I took it, because I was in a great spot before, it's right there. It's those words because I know they come from your heart. You mean them. And that is what I believe, that the fans are going to be easy to get behind this because the product putting out there is going to be what they haven't had. They're being a part of it. Coach, look, you mentioned it. I've got to come with the content. It's hard for me to find 10 minutes on my day. I know it's hard for you. Thanks for your time. We look forward to seeing you get together with your team soon.
Well, I appreciate it, Julian. Hey, I do look forward as I do look forward to this whole process. Thank you for being part of it.